I only got one question. So is that all you got? You go big or stronger, you push harder. Is that all you got? You climb higher, faster. So is that all you got? You put your best in the rest in, no question. Is that all you got? So you a victor, I only got one question. So is that all you got? Yeah, look at you now. So is that all you got? Take a look at you now. So is that all you got? Look at you now. Is that all you got? Yeah, I only got one question. So is that all you got?
I love my sport because my sport changed all my life. Now my career is 18 years. I started from 2006. I have participated in 4 Paralympic games, and the sport is not good. The sport that I like Paralympics.
So, greetings, good morning. We're here for the 3rd full day, day 2 of the elite competitions. Greetings, day 2 of the adult competition in Dubai. 3 gold medals up for grabs today. As you can see, here's the field in Group D for the men's 72 kilo final. 4 groups today. We start with Durgaman Tamang of Nepal, starting 80, all the way up to Andreas Paralambus of Cyprus, 135. First group of 4 in this men's 72 kilo final to get the 3rd day of action, day 2 for the elite adult competition underway at these 2023 Paralympic World Championships in Dubai at the Hilton Al Habtoor City. So a significant field in for this. 36 in total between now and lunchtime, Dubai time. Greetings from Will Downing. Mary Hodge, long-standing national team coach, is here with me as well.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Day 3. Excited to be with you here, Will.
That's really nice. Nobody's ever excited to be with me. But greetings, anyone, to you all, and we'll have Bonnie Gustin a little bit later battling in this. Donato Telesca as well is in this 72 kilo final. We'll see them in a few hours' time in Group A. If you've been with us already, you'll see that things have been remaneuvered a little bit, simplified in terms of the structure of the day. And what that also means as well is that we have got a different set of referees per group, which is actually a smashing idea. Mohammed El Al-Fat with that famous record from 2015. Which at one stage was the world record, and then Bonnie came along. So Group D's on the way. We'll have 8 in it, and the introduction of the athletes is imminent. So this men's 72 kilo final, as we approach 9:30 Dubai time. Women's 45 kilo final, that'll be underway at 4 p.m. Dubai time, and the over 86 final, the heaviest weight division, will be just after 6:30. And the introductions can now begin. Durga Mantamag of Nepal. Now, great to have him on board, great to have Nepal on board. A lot more about him and everyone else when they're out. Sargos Miribian as well, who we're seeing for the first time in a major championship. Shin Yong-hun of Korea. Just to show you who he's with. And here comes his teammate Choi Jin Gyun. This is Rahul Jugrajaya of India. For Libya, Abraham Othman. Gabriel Wanjiko's in for Kenya. Actually, I tell you, it's interesting to see him in Group D. He's really prominent. Andreas Karalambus of Cyprus and Honey Dabas of India. We were due to see, he's down as being disqualified, which will be a check-in issue. The issue of not being a check-in. So that's Group D. We're approaching 9:30 in the morning Dubai time. The crowds will grow, but the crowds and mascots you'll see at fully 100% already. So this is the referees' draw for Group D. That doesn't mean that they're then ineligible to come out and referee in a later group. They can be. It is a random draw. And here are our officials for this Group D. So the chief referee, the centre referee is Assam Al-Zubi of Jordan. Left side referee will be Pascalina Renzaki of Greece. And the right side referee will be Husari Azizuddin of Malaysia. Technical controller for this final from Korea is Kim Young-jun. technical delegate for this men's competition, Zita Gerko. So if you haven't been with us for the first couple of days, and it didn't really come into play in the junior competition because largely it was just Group A's all the way through. When Group C comes out in about an hour's time, there will be another draw for a new set of referees. And you'll recall as well in past championships, all of the competing athletes, so in this case almost 40, would have been out in stage at the start. That doesn't have to happen anymore. Group C will be introduced when they're due to start in an hour. So there have been various tweaks, little subtle rule changes as well, which I'm absolutely certain all the coaches know and have studied. And we're ready to go. Speaking of coaches, Mary, this is your department.
Thank you so much. And so right now what's going on in the back is the athletes are finishing warming up. They're about 80 or 90% of their opening attempts. Some will go to 100 and then come out and hit that same attempt. Then they get warm jackets, towels, stay a little hydrated, and get ready to roll. We have less than a minute to get started, so let's get going.
I'll tell you, you're very enthusiastic for 9:30 in the morning.
Hot tea will do it anytime and every time.
Not for me, it doesn't. Anyway,
And of course your company.
again, this is something I don't hear very often, so thank you very much. So this is what's happening in the back room. It is a new venue. Obviously, we're usually at the Centre for Athletes of Determination in the east of the city, which is a wonderful venue. A little bit of sprucing up happening there. Normally it's the same hotel all the athletes are in as well, but this time around it is the Hilton in the city centre. We are reasonably close to the Burj Khalifa, and one day this week I promise I'll be able to tell you how close. But it means that the athletes are all staying here as well. There are two hotels connected, the Hilton and the V Hotel. The athletes are spread between those two. It's about 40 floors between both, so there's enough room for all. So we're ready to go. Very good morning to you all. So we do not get to see Hani Dabas of India. Unfortunately, disqualification, which will mean 99 times out of 100 not getting to the weigh-in on time. And it's a pity. Would have been his first championship. So we miss out on Hani Dabas, and instead, let's greet for his major championship debut, globally, Durga Man Tamang of Nepal. His nation represented for the very first time in a World Championships. So the footprint is growing. Welcome to him, welcome to Nepal, and if you're watching in Nepal, you are very, very welcome. He is 44 years old. Actually, he'll be 44 next week. He finished 10th in the Asian Championships when they were last held in 2018 in Jakarta. So 10th place, good finish. Hongshu is holding the next edition in October of those. And he has competed on the World Cup second in Dubai. He finished 8th in 2018, which would have been in the run-up to those Asian Games. So he's starting off with 80. And in the 72 kilo final, he has got the competition off to a very good start. That is a nice lift by Damang.
Really nicely done. Took his time, got strapped in, top and bottom. Let the coach know what he wanted, where he wanted it. And perhaps we'll see a replay, but if not, he came down very evenly, stopped on his chest, went straight back up and awaited the rack command. Really nicely done. There he is. down, hold, press straight up, and hold it until the rack command comes. No better attempt than that. Nicely done.
That's a lifetime best as well. His previous best was in Jakarta at the Asian Para Games, which had been 76. So now, a major championship debut to Sagas Miribian. No World Cups to his name previously, so he is going for a lifetime best also.
Will, in the past, we've only seen 1 or 2 athletes from Armenia, so it's really great to see their team growing.
I know Greta Verdanyan's been watching in, and if you are again, greetings to you. He's been one of those regular athletes on the international circuit in the past few years. By the way, if you saw somebody being stretchered away earlier, that was just a practice run. Don't worry, everyone's okay. So far. So Tamang has got us going for 80. And this will be for 95. And that is a good lift, and that is a really good start to the international career of Sagas Miribian. Very solid lift, and such a long way to go in this competition. But 2 things here, obviously trying to weight up as high as possible, get up among the Group C marks, but also get your 3 lifts in to get a high total in.
So we see on his right side, the bar came down a little bit, and that's why the right side ref gave him a red. Other than that, he got 2 whites. 2 whites is all you need to get a good attempt. Well done.
So next up, couple for Korea. This is Shin Yong-hun, 28th at the last World Championships in Tbilisi. Shows you what big feels we often have for these worlds. 8th in the Asia Oceania Championships in Jakarta. Choi Eun-kyo has been his coach for a few years. Club is Hong Sun-gun. And he's attempting a target of 100. So 2 for South Korea in this competition. And so it's Shin going for 100. Now he has a lifetime best in his career of 123, so he's done this before, but it allows him opportunities of a couple of good leaps in this. And that is a good lift at 100. So he's pulled that one off well. And Shin Yong-hun gets his solid foundation for this 72-kilo final. He's made his opening effort work very well.
Yes, he looked really great. He's using a weight belt to just ensure that breath coming up into the chest. Some athletes choose to do that, and there are rules around the size and the width. Here he comes down, he holds it nice and motionless, and straight up lock it out. Really great attempt. Nice arch at his back. He had everything well prepared.
For their first attempt representing South Korea, Jin-Ju Choi.
And we stay with Korea. Choi Jin-kyun going for 110. He was 22nd in the last World Championships, 10th in the Asia Oceania Championships in Pyeongtaek last year. One of the home Korean athletes there, about 2.5 hours south of Seoul. 3.5 hours if you're very unlucky. Kwon Choi Min, the coach that he regularly has, always say that's not necessarily the person who'll be on stage with them. And remember, a lot of the time now you're allowed 2 coaches to come out into the venue. That's 110, so that's good. The multimedia graduate who lives in Changwoo gets 110, and that puts him into the lead in this Group D. So good work.
Nice and fast work too. Down on the chest, holds it straight up. No worries, no concerns. Gets in, do his business, gets out. Really nicely done. And he knows it. Look at that smile.
The bar is now loaded for their first attempt representing India, Rahul Jograjia.
So we've already seen Rahul Jograjia go to 132. In the Youth Championships. It's part of a brilliant run to claim the silver medal behind his teammate Honey Dabas in the Junior World Championships 2 days ago, and that was in the next gen. So that was 132, and this is 130, so very close to his new lifetime best.
Getting prepared. Taking deep breath.
So 130, this will be the lead for India, and that is a good lift, 2-1 in his favour. So this is all, from his point of view, very, very positive, and we have not had a miss yet. Good progress.
Comes down, nice and straight on the chest, straight back up. Really took a lot of time to get prepared, which was excellent, and he's pleased with his progress. Very nice.
Andreas Karalambos of Cyprus is up now. So there's been a change in terms of what was originally anticipated. 135 he was looking at. We were going to see him actually in the last lift of this round, but not now. He made his debut at the Europeans last year in Tbilisi, where he finished in 5th spot. Matt Harding took the gold in that for Great Britain, who's in Group A here and looking to be very competitive. Karalambos 5th in Europe right at the start of his career is really very positive indeed for the 34-year-old. Went to 130 there, 132 here, so that is a lifetime best. One positivity from the Cypriots, and that puts him into the lead in Group D.
Can't ask for better. 3 white lights, just absolutely perfect. Straight down, complete stop, drive up to the top, and rack it out. That was such a powerful, strong lift. Well done.
For their first attempt representing Libya, Ibrahim Ahmed.
So Ibrahim Othman coming now for Libya. He finished 4th out of the African competitors in the African Championships last year, but because there was a tie for the gold between Shaban Ibrahim, Mahmoud Attia, silver went to Emmanuel Oku, which meant that as the 3rd individual mark for Libya. He got a bronze medal. He was the 4th man on the podium, so a bronze for him in the African Championships. And he's going here for 135. He'd previously been 4th at the African Championships in 2018, so to get on the podium was a really great result from his point of view. And that is a great lift. 135, 2-1 in his favour, and that puts him top of the pile for now, and it means we still have not had any misses in this group.
So he comes down a little crooked, probably why he got the red, evens out on the chest, drives straight up, and locks out. Really nicely done.
Representing Kenya, Gabriel Makuanjiku.
So Gabriel Wanjiku is the last to go in this group for his first attempt. Wanjiku was among the field competing in Dubai at the end of last year. So you've seen him in the Americas Open Championships. He's had 2 top 6 finishes there. Previously 5th in the African Championships in 2015. He was 9th last year in Cairo. Man from Nairobi. He's got a graphic design qualification, so that's handy. It's his 4th World Championships. Now in 2 of those he hasn't registered a mark. So 135 here. Oh dear, he hasn't registered a mark here either. Having to be careful that he doesn't fall into the same chaps. He does have a lot of finishes in international competitions to his name, including Commonwealth Games, which we can elaborate on the next time he's out. But Wanjiku misses out 135. And that's the first miss.
We see very fast on the chest. There has to be a complete stop. There must be an ability to see the difference in when the bar descends and when the bar ascends. If you just touch and go, you're going to get 3 red lights. He should come back and get that. He just needs to clean up that chest sequence.
So into round 2, Durgaman Taman going for 81. Well, 1 kilo is obviously the automatic hop. Perhaps they feel that he's close to his limit. We'll see. He stays in 7th with this, but obviously he has a massive leap up when it comes to the total lift. So this for 81, having climbed 1 additional kilo. Durgaman Taman for 81. Yeah, he's got it. Good lift. He's done well with that. And, well, he continues his progress very well. How heavy he can go with that, we'll have to see. But Nepal making their World Championship debut. And with a lot coming up, the Asian Para Games in 2 months' time in Hangzhou in China, which has been much delayed, pushed back a little bit in 2022, and now in 2023 it's happening.
Straight down, even, straight up. I would imagine his coach is going conservative because it is his first World Championships. Your first one is a really big deal. He wants him to get in, get all his lifts, and feel confident. Nicely done.
As we continue in this second round for Armenia, and a leap of 5 for Sargis Maribyan, going for 100, having cleared 95 earlier.
So you see that often an athlete will lay down, check to ensure their eyes are where they want to be by the bar, sit back up, and then become strapped.
So, 100 for Sargas Maribian. And he's got that at 100. So, Maribian continuing his progress well. He goes to a total of 195 for Armenia on his championship debut. And all of this is progressing very well for him and for them.
That was a really solid attempt. Very interesting. He actually took that bar out from the back of the rack. Typically the bar is pushed to the front and it's a little easier to get up over the rack. He took it from the back, used all that power, took it out, brought it down, executed perfectly. Nicely done. Really strong gentleman.
So now the pair of Korean lifters making their way through. And we start with Shin Young-hun going for 110, which is a leap of 10 from his successful opening round attempt. Yeah, crowd's building here, actually, I have to say. You may have seen them, a lot of empty seats just prior to the 9:30 start, but it is early here. And the crowds are beginning to build now. Certainly noticeably for the women's finals last night, it was just about a full house in this Dubai Al Habtoor City in Dubai. So 110 for Shin Young-hun. Going for 110. Well, we've done well in terms of the lift so far, and that is a good lift. It's 2-1 in Shin's favour. It's stop sequence from our centre referee was the only vote down, but that's perfectly fine from his viewpoint. And so Shin moves on well, 110, total lift so far of 210 for the lead there. A reminder that's a new set of medals as well to reward consistency. And he's got that right now.
So he comes down, a little fast on the chest, straight back up, drives it, ready to lock it out. The center referee probably felt he was a little fast on the chest, but he got 2 whites, and so he's off with a good attempt.
Next up for South Korea, it is Choi Jin-gyun. His 3rd major championship. And well, if he can get a nice, reasonable finish here, try and wade as high as he can in terms of the overall field from the city of Changwon-si. Aiming up for 115, and he's got it. Well, he's from very close to Busan, which has staged quite a number of powerlifting, weightlifting championships as well. 115 for Choi. Very, very good result. He's actually in a really busy part of Korea.
Beautiful, straight down, rack straight up. Really, really nice. That was an interesting view too. You could see the center referee looking at the right side, but he gave him a white light. Well done.
So on we go to Rahul Jograjaya, 135. He's going for India here, so again a leap of 5. And you look at the leaps that India have made in this sport since claiming the first Commonwealth Games Paralifting medal in 2014, and that involves 70 countries, so quite a lot of the major para nations are in that. Commonwealth Games, nicely integrating para sport into the overall sports program. But in many cases, very much modified. There's only 2 men's and 2 women's weight divisions in the Commonwealth Games, lightweight and heavyweight, so they do it on the coefficient. I'm sure there would be a preference for more weights, but that's what the sport is given for the moment. Same in para-athletics, there's a minimal amount of a para-athletics program compared to the rest of the regular championship. Anyway, it is Jograjaya here for 135. So this would match the tally of Abraham Ottman. So he would go second. Ottman was there first at 135, so there is no tie anymore. We used to have a lot of ties last year in the Continental Championships, the Regional Championships. Jograjaya goes to 135, so that is second place. Nobody's lifted heavier than that so far, but it is second spot for him. Jograjaya goes to 135, matching Abraham Ottman, who is on very, very shortly.
Straight down, nice stop, straight up drives the bar. Well done, and he knows it. He gives thumbs up to the side.
For their second attempt representing Cyprus,
Andreas Karalambous for Cyprus up now, and what a really strong, decent debut for his country at the Europeans last year. In Tbilisi, which has obviously become a very regular venue. So Karalambous 138. And that too is a good lift. So that's 3 out of 3 for him, and again he's producing lifetime best today, which is really gratifying to see.
And making it look easy. Straight down, complete stop, straight up drives it, locks it out. Wrists are go from flexion straight up. He's ready. Nicely done.
So Abraham Ottman of Libya coming here for 140. So that African Championships bronze. With the door open up for him due to that tie in this weight division between Shaban Ibrahim and Mahmoud Attia, the 2 Egyptian competitors. They finished top of the pile on 190. Then there was a head-to-head lift, which they both got as well. And in the earlier Continental Championships at the start of the year, it was an optional head-to-head lift the tied athletes could do. And in every single case, you would what we would now call a Katie Moon and a Nina Kennedy arrangement. We'll share the gold. Well, there wasn't a single head-to-head lift during those few regional championships where that rule had been in place, because you remember up to the start of last year, it was always in terms of body weight. Whoever had the lighter body weight at the weigh-in would get the nod in the head-to-head. But from now on, from these championships, the rule is whoever gets to the weight first. It is theirs and theirs exclusively, which means that at 140, It's Abraham Ottman who leads the way on this fine mark, and what an excellent mark for Ottman as well.
Straight down, nice, straight drive up. He knows he has it, and he hollers and lets you know. I liked the way he prepared himself mentally. He sat and he relaxed and collected himself. Half of the game is mental, and you cannot forget that the athletes have to take care of their mental to execute physically.
So also going for 140 here is Gabriel Wanjiku of Kenya, who missed 135 with his first attempt and who was going for it with 5 added on. So he's keeping to his path. Here's Gabriel. It's really gratifying the amount of additional events, even World Cup events, we're getting in Africa these days, and the first African Para Games in its own right starting next week. There had been a para element in the African Games, which Paralifting was involved. So Wanjiku coming now, and at the Commonwealth Games in Gold Coast 2018, finished 7th in that, 5th in the Americas Open Championships in St. Louis last year. That is 140. And that is a good lift. That's what he wanted to see. 17th in the 2017 World Championships, and he's guaranteed a finishing place now. And well, it's good he didn't stay at 135. Obviously felt that it wasn't the weight that was the issue. A few technical things, technique things, which have been sorted. 140 and he's there.
So he holds it and then goes. He slowed it down a little bit. He had to stop long enough. Oftentimes, if it's a little too light, the athlete has a problem controlling it on the chest. So he put 5 more kilos on. That gave him the weight he needed to hold it properly. Nicely done. 3 white lights.
So we go into the 3rd and final round with Durga Mantamang of Nepal. So they've decided for a significant leap here of 86, which is 5 kilos up. So this time they are going to have a little hop. And again, this will be for a lifetime best. Having lifted in the high 70s prior to this. Now, he's not been an international event for 5 years, but obviously there'll have been some domestic competition. Can be, there's no can be about it, is very difficult to organise local competitions if there are very few of you who are doing the sport.
1 minute remaining.
But it's 86 for Durga Mantamang of Nepal. And that for 86, he's got his 2 lifts in up to this point. And he's got that one as well. So Tamang gets 86. And as a result of that, I'm pretty sure they didn't want to be going for 81 in their middle attempt. They must have run out of time in nominating a better lift. They have a better lift now. 86 for Tamang of Nepal. Lifetime best, total of 247, so he's high in the standings in that. He's not leading because there's significantly greater lifts than we've already seen, but he's got this one well.
Straight down, nice hold on the chest, straight back up. Great showing for his first time at a World Championships. He should be very proud of himself. Nicely done.
So next up for Armenia, Sargis Miribyan. He's going for 106 here. So this will keep him where he is in 7th spot. But they've obviously had a look and felt that this is as good as he can work out. He basically would have had to go to 111 to climb up a place, and then obviously it's not guaranteed. And again, this is lifetime best territory. It's his first major championship, so he's doing what he's doing. And it is certainly going to put him into the lead in terms of the total lift. Let's see if he can make it work at 106. Afraid not. Press sequence from our two side referees, so he misses out, and it's encouraging that that is only the second miss out of everybody in this Group D. So they're aiming appropriately, not going in too high. General quality is improving compared to what we've seen from long ago. I think in some ways as well, there've been, as has happened in weightlifting, there've been little simplifications, certain parts of the rules and what you can and can't do, but he's missed out here.
And here he comes, and you see the bar bounces and also bends to the right side. That's why he got the 2 red lights. Really great attempts, though, for his first international competition.
Yeah, I'll be very happy about that, there's no doubt about it. He's done just about what he's needed to do. If you get your first 2 attempts in and you don't get your third, well then fair enough, he's followed his path. But if you come along and miss your first couple, then you feel you've lost some ground. Shin has not. And these are nice little hops. 100, then 110, and he's only going up 3 kilos. So you would imagine there's a feeling that he's really up around what they feel is his limit today. Especially as Shin has lifted heavier than this. It's worth pointing out that in the past year, he's been 2 weight divisions above this in the 88 kilo weight category, this being 72. So it obviously, with the loss of body weight, also limits a bit what's been done before.
Absolutely, less muscle mass to move weight.
So he's giving this a whirl. Really good attack on this at 113. And Shin has done really, really well. He's got all of his lifts in, so he leads the total lift. He's on 323.
And that was well done, even though it seemed a little fast. On his chest, he had a noticeable stop, and that's part of what the referees are looking for. Control, the noticeable stop, and control on the way up, and he did it. Nicely done. And he's happy. Look at that big smile.
I mean, they have a lovely sized team in Korea. We've had 2 really good recent Asia Oceania Championships in Korea and Japan before that.
Bar is now loaded for the third attempt representing South Korea, Jin Choi.
Speaking of which, here is Choi Jin Gyun going for 120, and that Asia Oceania Championships in Pyeongtaek was actually the debut event at the stadium there a year ago. And then obviously in Cairo, quite similar, there'd only been 2 big events there before, the African Championships, which had been the World Para Handball Championships. And there'd been a men's handball championships there as well. Here's Choi with his attempt at 120. Now, no lift. There's been a bit happening there. So the 2 referees have voted him down, voting him down in the stop sequence, but also the right-hand side referee also not appreciating the press. So he's had his miss. His philosophical reaction will tell you that he probably felt that was going to be tentative even going into it. He's given it a good try, didn't get it.
Straight down. really no stop, and even on the way up he stutters. What was interesting about him is when he first came out, he waved to the crowd, which was not his normal routine. And sometimes when you're not methodical with what you do, every second on the way up, that does affect your attempt. He may not have been as focused. Nice try.
So here comes Rahul Jograjaya of India, who's going again now for 137, a leap of 2. This will, if successful, give him the lead in the total lift. So 137 here for Jograjaya. If he gets this, he stays in 4th position in this group. Looking to get an even press on the way up for this. And Jograjaya, no lift. 2 on the press against him. Actually, 2 had also whistled him up. You see, it just wasn't even on the way up that press. But also 2 had voted him down on the stop sequence as well. That being Rahul Jograjaya of India, missing at 137.
Straight down, the chest, no stop. Stuttering on the way up, uneven extension. A lot to work on there.
Paralympics now, 142. This is a nice leap up, and again, he's aiming for his 3rd lifetime best of the day. So this would give him a massive lead in terms of the total lift. We're beginning to see a few misses in the last round, which will happen quite a lot. Athletes have extended themselves. They're going up way beyond the call of duty. He's done that and been successful. Oh, he's done everything right. And he has added 12 kilos to his lifetime best today. And this has got a good chance of him overtaking some of those that we're going to see in Group C.
Just a nice lift. Little short on the chest, straight up, no hesitation. Well done. Really, really nice.
So we return to Libya. And it was Abraham Otman, which in terms of this sport, considering that is one of the translations out of Arabic of one of the greatest champions this sport has ever seen. Joe Osman is a good name to have. Really good campaigner, going for 147 here. Bronze in the African Championships in the 6th of October city at that Hassan Mustafa Sports Hall. And actually that opened for the Men's Handball World Championship in 2021. And then obviously we've had the wheelchair handball championship there for the Worlds and the African Championship in this sport. Actually, a good basketball venue as well. Tends to host some big games, if I recall. But anyway, 147 for Ibrahim Othman. We'll see how forgiving they are in that press. It was uneven. It's 2-1 against. From one angle, that would have looked just about okay, but he's not been given it, and he is denied, and that's his only miss. Pity, but one hand well above the other.
Let's see what happened here. Down on the chest, uneven, comes up, locks out also unevenly. One side up before the other. Both sides have to lock out together, unless you have a classification reason why not. Nice try though, valiant attempt.
Gabriel Wanjiku, the last to go in this group. Well, he's had a really great campaign. He had that nice high finish actually in Cairo in the 6th of October city. That is a very significant date in Egyptian history. And it's a reasonably new part of Cairo. Little extension into the southwest. Not very far away from the pyramids. He campaigned really well there, got 5th in the African Championships, and looking here to wrap up with 148, which would give him a nice advantage going into the next Group C. Ah, yes! Ah, yes! What a fine lift! Well, that's just great. He missed his first one, but he never deviated from his path. He kept going for the intended targets. He's cleared 140, he's cleared 148. He can clear off stage along with everyone else because the referee's duty for this group is done and we can choose new ones for Group C.
And he just nails it. Straight down, drives straight up, locks out evenly, waits for the press command, rack command. Nicely done. And he knows it. Look at that smile. Good work today.
Yeah, I think everybody's really happy to see that. And Wanjiku, 148 for Kenya, leading the way. Paralympics, likewise, lifetime best, 142 for Cyprus in second. Ibrahim Othman of Libya, third on 140. And in terms of the total lift, it is Paralympics who leads on 412, ahead of Shin Young-hun on 323. And nobody else getting above 300. We lost Tony Dabas of India, unfortunately, and that due to a weigh-in issue. We would understand. And it would have been his adult championship debut. And that is mightily unfortunate from his viewpoints. But those are the scores on the doors right now in this men's 72 kilo final. So that was Group D, and Group C is coming. Medet Junasov will be starting us off in that. And that will be in 10 minutes time. Stay with us. We'll be introducing the athletes to you shortly. And then Group C can begin.
Attention coaches, you have 5 minutes to make changes to the first attempt.
música.
Attention coaches, no more changes allowed to the first attempt. The athletes competing in the 72 kilogram category Group C. Representing Kazakhstan, Madek Zuzma.
Group C on the way. And so is our mascot for these championships. We'll give you a full profile on the mascot at a later date. We've seen Medit Shushinov of Kazakhstan, and this is Gerardo Hernandez of Mexico. Christian Largo of the United States. This is Ibrahim Mustafa of Saudi Arabia.
Representing Kingdom of Saudi Arabia,
This is Asil Al-Hasawi.
Representing Cameroon.
And like Ibrahim Mustafa in the Legends category,
Representing Georgia.
this is Aukun Manga Balinga. Shota Amrosvili is very happy to be here for Georgia. And for the United Arab Emirates, also happy to be here with less distance to travel, it is Saif Al-Zabi. And that at the moment is in ascending order, the lift order for this Group C.
Let's find out who our officials are.
So those are the competitors in Group C. Let's find out who the lucky people will be as referees for this group over the next hour.
Let's meet our officials.
And here they are. So the referees for Group C of this men's 72 kilo final in the World Championships in Dubai. The chief referee, the central referee, Chiara Cifarelli of Italy. The left side referee from Japan is Hisako Yoshida. The right side referee from Greece is Nikolaos Kazantsis. Technical controller for this entire final is Kim Young-jung. Technical delegate Zita Gyurko from Hungary. So we're all set. And everybody can take their positions.
Athletes are in the back warming up, 80 to 90% of their opening attempts. Some will go up to 100%, very few. Then they'll stay hydrated, they'll stay warm by putting jackets, hoods on, towels on, and they'll stay ready to rock and get ready to start the show. Less than a minute. Let's go.
So here's the starting field, and the order Medit Shunasov of Kazakhstan will be seeing very shortly. To begin our 140.
Yeah. I only got one question. So is that all you got? You go big or stronger. You push harder. Is that all you got? You climb higher, faster. So is that all you got? You put your best in the rest in. No question. Is that all you got? So you a victor. I only got one question. So is that all you got? Yeah, look at you now. So is that all you got? Take a look at you now. So is that all you got? Look at you now. Is that all you got? Yeah, I only got one question. So is that all you got?
So there we go. Group C will be beginning now with a man who we last saw in international competition, actually in Dubai at the World Cup. Medet Shunasov. Kazakhstan has been such a great base for this sport the past few years, and we're seeing even more and more of that now. So Shunasov coming for Kazakhstan, who, well, he made his debut on the World Championship stage in Kazakhstan in what has gone back to being Astana. They'd actually changed the name to Nur Sultan after the recently retired president. It stayed that way for a couple of years. You see, if you've been in the various hotels, all the signs still said Astana, and there's a good reason why they still do, because it officially has gone back to being Astana again. He's from Almaty, which was the capital until they moved it to Astana in the 90s. It's still a major city, and he's competed a few times in the Dubai World Cup at the Centre for Athletes of Determination. He finished 8th, actually, really encouragingly, at Christmas week last year. I'm told by those around here that Christmas is a big thing, bigger thing here than it would have been even 10 years ago. And he also was in the America's Open Championships. He finished 6th in that in St. Louis last year, as he goes for 140, aiming to go high by his standards, and with every right to. Good lift. Medet Shunasov gets 140. It's a good starting mark for him, having finished 6th in the Asia Oceania Championships last year.
And that was just perfectly executed straight down. Beautiful hold on the chest, drives straight up, locks it out, waits for the command to put it back. Well done. Really nice job.
Well, there's nice support here from Mexico, and it is Gerardo Hernandez who's going for 143. He finished 5th in the recent World Cup in Veracruz on the east coast of Mexico. And there he lifted 141. He is the youth Parapan champion. That was only a couple of weeks hence. Prior to that, where he went to 135. And in the Abierto competition in Guadalajara last year, where he made his international debut, he won the bronze in that, so he's advancing all the time. So I would make his lifetime best to be 141. So this is only a kilo away. So he's showing good ambition here. Gerardo. 143. Nice ambition, good lift. Nothing more needed. 3 white lights. And successful at 143. Now it's only 11 kilos at the moment between all the first round attempts in Group C, which is interesting, so there may be a lot of congestion later on. But Gerardo Hernandez has done his work.
Straight down, hold, straight up driving, and lock out. Really nice, really strong. Well done.
So far, so good in this group, and we only had a handful of misses in Group B. Group D as well. Those in Group B in an hour will be hoping that is very much the case. But we'll see. So next up, for the United States, he is a New Yorker by birth, New York State, Mineola. He's been based subsequently in Richmond, Virginia. Second World Championships for Christian Lago. World Junior Silver in 2017. His senior World Championships debut, he was 12th in the worlds in Nur Sultan, Astana, and now he's back for more, having finished 5th in the America's Championship in Bogota in 2018 and 4th last year in St. Louis when he was 4 kilos off the medals. Christian Lago ready to kick off at 1:45. Steadily improving all the time. So 145 for Lago, who lifted 146 in St. Louis, Chesterfield, Logan University, the William Purser Center, and that is a good lift. So that's 1 kilo off what he did in St. Louis a year ago. That's really, really good news for him. He's the first of the US team competing this week, and he sets the standards for the rest to follow. He's in front.
It's great work by Christian. Brings it straight down, pauses like you could eat lunch on the chest, and straight up, locks it out. Well done, Christian. Really nice to see him getting his opening attempt. Great job.
So we move on to Ibrahim Mustafa of Saudi Arabia. He's 46 years old. And he is the first that we're seeing in the Legends category. So that's part of the new additional set of medals that he's competing for. We most recently saw him in the Tbilisi World Cup in Georgia earlier this year, where he finished in 7th spot. Asia Oceania bronze medalist in the previously existing Asian Championships in 2005. So he stepped away from the international sport for a good few years. He's only come back reasonably recently, perhaps because there is now this new Legends category in which there are medals to pick up, but also as results going towards the main field too. Mustafa 147. He finished 5th in the Dubai World Cup late last year and 7th in Tbilisi, and he's going here for 147, which was among the heaviest attempts in the previous group, but a lot of those heaviest attempts were not successful. Mustafa going for 147 now. Well, it's no lift. It's 2 against on the stop sequence, 2 against on the press. Obviously, one of the referees has voted him down on both, and he'll have to go back and reconsider about.
He did a really nice job with measuring exactly where his hands were going to go on the bar, but when he came out and he came down, he was sideways on his chest, one side of the bar dipping down below the chest, and then on the way up, the press sequence was also uneven. So with both of those, you're going to get red lights. Here he comes. You see the bar dips down to the side, doesn't stop long enough, and then he's sideways on the way up. He can fix those things very quickly, come back and get that, though. Strong gentleman.
And staying with Saudi Arabia, coming out now is Asil Al-Hazawi. And he's going for a target of 148. So Al-Hazawi, he's fresh-faced 26-year-old. But he's been very busy in international competition. He finished 5th in Tbilisi earlier this year. So he was the Iowa's Junior World Champion in 2014, which is now World Ability Sport, and those Iowa's Games in their traditional spot in December, but now retitled, and they're in Indonesia next December. A date for your diary, and it is also part of the World Powerlifting World Cup circuit. His 4th World Championships, his debut was last Worlds in Dubai in 2014. So looking to be good and smooth at 148 there. And he was 2-1 in his favour. No issue with that. And he clears 148 to take the lead. Really good, clean lines. And Al-Hazawi will go out in front with his first attempt.
Straight down, nice. A little fast off the chest, straight up, lockout. Probably got that one red because of the speed on his chest. Other than that, nice attempt.
Well, not wasting any time here at all, are we? Because here comes for Cameroon, Aukun Manga Belinga. For Cameroon. And this our greatest attempt yet. He's going for 149. Made his championship debut with a peak of 148 in Cairo at those African Championships, and he finished 4th there, 4 kilos behind Ibrahim Othman, who picked up the bronze. A reminder, it was a gold medal each for Shaban Ibrahim and Mahmoud Atia of Egypt. Silver going to Emmanuel Nitetioku of Ghana. 3rd to Ibrahim Othman of Libya, so 2 golds, a silver and a bronze. If you were watching the World Athletics last night, the women's pole vault, a shared gold, but then no silver given out and skipping just the bronze. Things done differently here, of course. 149, we'll see how straight that press was. There's your answer. Interestingly, only 1 vote against on the press. I thought it might have been 2, but the second vote was for the stop. He doesn't get it, it's 2 and against. He is denied, and Manga needing to rethink. He got all of his lifts in, by the way, in Cairo at those African Championships, but not this time.
Yes, such a technical sport. He comes down, fast off the chest, straight back up, and doesn't lock out evenly, and the bar shifts off to the right and left. So, again, things that can easily be resolved. He'll come back out and get the next one, I'm confident. And the spotters and loaders are timely with setting these bars up so these lifters can keep moving.
Shota Amrashvili of Georgia. Now, what a busy man he has become. And not just him, but so many of his countrymen. I'm just going to wait for that music to go up another 5 octaves, if they exist. 150 he's going for here. we most recently saw him actually as part of a decent-sized Georgian team in Mexico, in Veracruz for the World Cup.
1 minute wait.
So 150 for Omarishvili, as he sought to get that press right. And he did. So 2-1 in his favour. The vote against was actually for the body sequence. So he's been shuffling around in ways he ought not have done so. But this is good because in his last 2 major championships, he didn't register a mark. And he was out of the sport for 9 years until Georgia picked up a lot of the recent championships, and he's been in them all.
Nice and tight. And what happens with his body, you see his leg moving on the right, and that's why he got the body sequence. Really, that strap needs to be a little bit tighter to ensure his legs don't move, specifically because he has cerebral palsy, and then that will negate that issue. Nicely done.
We continue. United Arab Emirates, Saif Al-Zabi. Heaviest attempt, 151. His major championship debut. He's competed in 1 World Cup, which was across town at the Centre for Athletes of Determination, when he lifted 157, when he finished 10th in the 2021 Dubai World Cup. So in terms of his lifetime best, he's going quite high. Obviously, we're not with him in the gym the whole time when he's doing it himself. And that is a good lift. It's 2-1 in his favour, and it is a just on the press, the 1 mark against him by centre referee, but he is absolutely fine. Gets it. And that is a swell piece of manoeuvring for this fine man. Well done.
Comes down a little quick. Nice on the chest, straight up. I think he's got fast timing. He just wants to be careful not to go too fast. But there he was very controlled. Nicely done.
So we roll on to round 2, and Medit Junasov going for 146. Now this would seem him climb up a few places. He's going to 4th spot actually with it. So here he comes, 146. Let's see how he's pulled that one out for Kazakhstan. No lift. You see, I think he realized that. He bounded out immediately, and I thought he looked somewhat disconsolate. Just kind of knew that wasn't quite right, and he knew what his fate was going to be across the board. Unanimous decision. He gets 3 red lights for the press. Coach saying the same thing.
Straight down and barely stops, and also on the press up he really struggled, and he knew it. One thing you want to try to do as an athlete is not show when you're disappointed. Sometimes you can win the referee over that way.
So we return to Ibrahim Mustafa in the Legends competition. The 2 men in the Legends so far haven't got the mark, 147, 149 for the over 40s, the masters, if you like. So to get on the board, having missed in the opening round, he and Auken Manga Balinga both missing in the opening round. So aiming for 147 and pushing through well. Now, how successful was that? He's waiting. He wasn't confident, but he gets it by 2-1. The vote against him was for the stop sequence, but it paid off okay for Ibrahim Mustafa, and he now is on the board at 147. And that is good positivity from his point of view.
Nice job on the way down. Controls it and stops. On the way up, straight up, locked out. Nice job.
So on we go to the very heavily supported and popular Gerardo Hernandez. The Mexican fans are all around us. His major championship debut. You can see how dusty it is with all the chalk, which is something that a lot of the time you don't even realize here when you're elsewhere in the venue. But chalk is what keeps the home fires burning, keeps the grip, maintains it. So here he comes, going for 148. Hernandez to add 5 onto the bar from what he did last time. Well, he's looked a bit uncomfortable there. He was fighting against the bar a bit. And he couldn't keep it clean. They all voted against him on the press sequence, I'm afraid to say. So, he misses out.
Yeah, when we see the replay, what you're going to see is his one arm goes up and hits the top before the other. Both arms have to ascend together, so the chest is tight. Here he comes up, great, beautiful, and then he just starts to lose it. One side goes up before the other, and that's always going to get you a red light, unfortunately. Got the power, has the strength, he'll come back and hopefully get his third attempt.
So, Auken Manga Balinga is the next to go. So we have only had one successful lift actually in this run so far. This man trying to avoid being the only one and the first one so far in the entire competition to not register a mark. He missed in round 1. This is round 2 for Auken Manga Balinga, and he too is in the Legends category. There are quite a few later on. This is going to be most competitive. There are 3 more to follow, so there are 5 Legends overall in this. And this is his second championship of his career. So here he is. And that is 150 for Auken Manga Balinga. And that is a good lift. It's 2-1 in his favor. It's worked out well. So again, everybody in this competition has registered a mark, and that is gratifying. And that means results. And in a lot of countries' cases, continuation of funding, basically. Good news.
Great descent. Nice stop on the chest. Straight up. He really drives, works hard, reaches the top, locks it out, and he knows it. Sitting up, he did well. Good job.
Celebration time. That is so good to see for Auken Mangabalinga. So next up, for the United States, going for 150, it is Christian Largo. Lee Hughes with him on stage, and his regular day-to-day coaches, Dave Brown, Caitlin Brown, has been with Ashland AC as well as a communications qualification, and generally in terms of the continental competitions has finished really well. 5th in the Pan Ams. He's actually been in the 2 Americas Opens, Asia Oceania Championships. Finished 4th last year, 5th the time before that. 5th in the Pan Am Games in Lima 2019. He was 4th in the Americas Championship last year in St. Louis, just edged out of the medals by 3 or 4 kilos. And looking to go for 150 here. So 150 for Christian Largo. Fighting very hard against that one was Largo. And that's a good lift. 2-1 in his favor. And he is progressing well, and that will give him the lead in terms of the total lift. He's actually the only one to get both of his lifts in so far in this group. So he is progressing very, very capably indeed. So far, so good.
Nicely done. Brings it down, nice and tight on the chest, and straight up. Such a victory for Christian. His last few tournaments, he's only been able to be successful with 1 lift, so 2 in a row is fantastic. He's worked hard and deserves it. Nicely done.
So moving on to Georgia and Shota Amrishvili, who had his 9-year break from the sport and came back at the World Championships in Tbilisi. Didn't register a mark in those 2 years ago. Europeans in Tbilisi didn't register a mark either, I'm afraid to say. But he has here at 150. So he's put those recent issues to bed. And bronze in Veracruz in the World Cup. Bronze in Tbilisi in the World Cup. So he's picking up medals lately. It's only his 3rd World Championships, his 1st in 2010, his 2nd in 2021, and now here he is again. And basically a target inside the top 20. The main men in this group, and at the moment it is working out for him. Well, Amrishvili's done well, 150, then 156. He leads now ahead of Christian Largo in the total lift. He's the 2nd man to get both of his attempts in. Amrishvili 150 and then 156.
Beautiful, straight up, He gets the red light because his right leg moves. Really, probably his coach should strap that leg separately. But other than that, the actual lift proper was perfect. Nicely done.
Two more attempts in this round. Azrael Al-Hazawi from Saudi Arabia. This is a leap of 9, the biggest we've seen up to this point. Got 148 last time, going for 157 now. Well, Al-Hazawi would again take a significant lead in the overall competition if he were to get this. It's his 4th World Championships, and his highest finish was just about 15th place in Astana. So here he comes, 157. And he's having to fight that one. He's trying to keep the fluidity. He may have avoided that being stuttery to get voted down. He has done. So he did get 1 vote against him on the press, but it's 2-1 in his favor, and he just about sold that well. So that was good from his point of view. And he clears that mark. Al-Hazawi at 157, and he now leads in terms of the competition and the total lift. He's in 2nd place.
Straight down, nice touch on his chest, straight up. Really battles to keep that even, locks it out. Nicely done.
And the last lift of this round, Saif Al-Zabi of the United Arab Emirates, the host nation. His major championship debut, and just that 1 World Cup in this city to his name. So, progressing well. 160 for him. And ready to take top spot in this competition if he can. This to wrap up the 2nd round. Really effective at the end of the 1st, and now looking really confident coming out. We'll see about the evenness issues right at the end and whether they feel he got an equal press. He did. That's all great. He did a really solid effort. Lift looked good. Not a problem.
Really great. Perfect descent, stop on the chest, drive straight up, lock it out. Nicely done. And he knows it. Great job.
Yeah, he was very swift in pushing it away. And he did well. As we go into round 3 of Group C. And it is Medet Shunasov. Been very busy in terms of the World Cup circuit as well as his championship action, the man from Almaty. He was so well travelled last year, 6th in the Asia Oceania Championships in Pyeongtaek in Korea, and then a month later 6th in the Americas Open Championship in St. Louis. Which doesn't have an international airport, so that's you're always going via somewhere on the way there, and in his case from Almaty via I would have thought. So, still waiting. Now, I'll tell you why he's still waiting. Because he's gone for 150 in this round. He's decided to skip up, having missed his second attempt. Gerardo Hernandez missed his second attempt at 148 and is staying at it. So as a result of that, he is going to have his pop now, first of all. So going in a different order. And 148 is his target. So he's competed a lot domestically in Mexico. That fine performance in the most recent World Cup in Veracruz, which was such a delightful venue at the World Trade Center there. Lovely location on the waterfront. So he's staying at 148 for this. Again, he is in lifetime best territory. That is not going to be completed, and he misses out. Hernandez denied 143, his only lift. Well, at the moment that has him in 8th position. So he's giving this a good tilt. Absolutely, he's giving it a good tilt. But on this occasion, unsuccessful.
Comes down, touches, straight up, and just runs out of gas. He really was in a good spot. If he could have just driven it, he would have gotten that. Unfortunately, just ran out of steam. Nice try.
So now it is Shunasov's turn. And he goes for 150. So he got 140, he missed 146. 150 his target now as he stays on his path. So he's again struggling here, I'm afraid to say, and Shunasov at 150, who missed out at 146. It's the same story for him. He only gets one successful lift, and that was at 140. So 2 misses for him as well.
Honestly, if he would have gotten the press sequence, look how fast he was on the chest. He still wasn't going to get the attempt. This is where he knew he didn't have enough energy, so he tried to move fast, but he would have gotten a red light on the chest. Nice try.
So we move onwards to Christian Largo again. He's had a blinding time. 145, 150. This now for 154. So he's broken his lifetime best once today, now aiming to do it a second time. He'll go 4th if he gets this. Climb up a place. He would have a substantial advantage in terms of the total lift, but there are 3 others in this group who've got a chance of overtaking. This is where he is. That's where he wants to go, above Manga Balinga, who got to 150 first of all. That's not going to work. Couldn't get the lift completed, so the spotters have had to dive in and remove. So he got his first two. He doesn't get his last one. That would have been a substantial lifetime best compared to what he had going into it. 8 above. So Christian Largo, well, he's looking like finishing in the mid-20s overall. That's to be determined over the next couple of hours.
That was a nice try. He took a lot of time with the coach strapping him, and so when he took it out, he just rushed through it really fast on the chest, and then the bar starts to go to the side. Really nice try, though, for Christian. Come back and get that next time for sure.
Alkun Manga Balinga lifted 150 last time. This for 155, having missed his opening attempt at 149. He's done a really solid appraisal today, the man from Cameroon. He is 53 years old. It's his second championship. He is in the Legends category, which is just the name of the age division. You don't need to be a multi-medalist, a 20-year veteran to be in the Legends here. Just the right age, and he is that. This for 155. So he currently leads in the Legends category with 3 to go. So what he's hoping for, A, that he's not overtaken here, and that just one of the 3 who are competing later on will miss, and if that's the case, then he will have a medal. Well, he's got that pressed. He was under a good deal of pressure in doing so. And as a result, with that press, he doesn't get it. It did look as if he was suffering control issues with it. So he gets his 150, and that is it. And that is where he clocks out. And nobody has had a successful lift in this third round yet.
That's unfortunate. He comes down straight up, and you see the bars going sideways, shifting sideways. He just didn't have enough power on his left side. He's going to come back and get that, though. And I like that he clapped for himself. That was great.
I mean, the important thing is he's got a mark there, and he's going to finish around where he was looking to anyhow. He actually wouldn't have moved up a place had he been successful with it. So finishing 150 or 155, keep him in 4th place in total, and at worst, that will be 24th.
Just small mistakes to fix. He will come back and do better next time.
Actually, it's funny the way it's worked out, because so many have missed in this final round. It's not actually been, you'll see from the scores there, it's not actually been, curiously, a disadvantage for Manga Balinga to miss there, because he wasn't going to overtake Omar Isfili, because Manga Balinga went for 155.
Work to his favor, that's great.
This is Shota Omar Isfili. So he can become the first to get all his lifts in. This for 161. Omar Isfili's diary is very full again after taking a few years away from the sport. I would say that took a few steps up it would be very hard to see if he'll get away with that. And he hasn't. They've all voted against him in the press sequence, and 2 actually voted against him on the stop sequence as well. That lift was never, I'm afraid to say that press was never looking good.
Yes, the coach really needs to strap him much tighter because his right leg keeps shifting in. That's not going to work for him. You cannot move your legs. You cannot move anything in your body other than your upper body to move that bar. And as we saw also on the chest, the bar was crooked. He's a strong young gentleman, technical things to work out. The coach needs to work on that strapping for sure.
Saif Alzabi is going for 162 here, so a few interesting things are happening. Alzabi was going for the heaviest weight each round, and now Ibrahim Mustafa and Asil Alazawi are taking significant jumps up, looking to go to 162 as well. Now, depending how well briefed they have been, if Alzabi gets this 162, then the other 2 will have to go up to 163. Alzabi has got both of his marks so far in. Nobody's got all 3 to date, and actually nobody's had a successful lift in this 3rd round. 162 for Saif Alzabi. Alzabi 162. No. He misses as well. It was a bridge too far. It was only 2 kilos up, but he doesn't get it. Alzabi, lifetime best territory again. He finishes on 160, and at the moment he's in the lead. 2 attempts at 162. Well followed.
Excellent work by these spotters and loaders to grab that bar as it was coming down. And that's what you need, spotters and loaders. Keep the lifters safe, and we're very appreciative to them for that. Nice work for that young gentleman.
And very briefly, I know a few of you watching yesterday will have seen 2 injuries in the space of 3 lifts. The men's 49 kilo final. Had a look back at that with some of the referees. The second injury was very gruesome. The first one, the spotters were on the ball, very much so. Unfortunately, there was a dislocated shoulder which happened off the back of it. And then the second, unfortunately, it was a freak bone snap just at the start of the bar going upwards, which I've never seen before. And I know everybody else who have asked about it, they've never seen that before. And it's the sort of thing that you simply nobody could expect. Not a doctor, can't diagnose these things, but unfortunately, a horrible freak accident. Not when the bar was at its height, but literally 10% of the journey upwards. And so the spotters waded in quickly there as well. It's the sort of thing you frankly would never expect to see. This is Alazawi of Saudi Arabia, 162. This for a complete set, and should he get it, then he will be way ahead in terms of the total lift. That stopped a bit. He reached the top. He completed the press. No lift. All 3 voting him down on that press sequence. It halted on the way up, and it wasn't an equal press out.
Right, as we see, he was fast off the chest on his way up. Here's the replay, fast off the chest. On his way up, he stops and then starts to come back with the bar and then straight up. All of those things are errors. Really strong young gentleman though. And on your 3rd attempt, you're just tired and you're digging deep. Some can get it, some can't.
So this is the heaviest attempt of the round, and this is the biggest leap of the round. Biggest leap of the group. 15 kilos. Ibrahim Mustafa is going up from 147 to 162. Everybody has missed in this round. They've gone beyond the limit of the day. Can Mustafa match his? He missed his first attempt at 147. He got it next time. this for 162, it will be a considerable lead to bring into Group B. So nobody got all their lifts in, which will mean that the total leader at the moment is actually coming out of Group D, remarkably. Columbus has lifted a total of 412. And in this group, it's 311 for Saif Al-Zabi. So the Cypriot leads by over 100 kilos in the total lift, which is frankly astonishing. But that's what I was saying about, and I know I'm talking about a man who got a lifetime best by 12 kilos today. Stay within your marks, get all of them in, get all your lifts in. You then show your consistency, you get a big mark in the total lift, and he has beaten everybody in this division, whether this is achieved or not. Well, let's see what they make of that from Mustafa. As expected, that was on a bit of a slant on the way up, and it is all 3 red lights and all for the press sequence, so it was not even.
It wasn't. He really fought hard to try and catch up. So he had one side higher than the other. He fought hard to catch up, but unfortunately the one side hit first, and so it's an uneven press. But boy, did he do hard work to try to get there. Straight, locked out, also fast off the chest, and he just couldn't lock them out together. Nice try.
So that completes Group C. We're midway through the competition, and for those of you who've joined us on the Paralympics YouTube and the World Paralifting Facebook, you'll have to retune, little refresh, for a different broadcast for Groups A and B. This is how we are in Group C. Hope you were paying attention there. Our leader on 160, Saif Al-Zabi of the United Arab Emirates. That's 160. Second, Azil Al-Azawi of Saudi Arabia, 157. And in third place, at 156 for Georgia, is Shota Omarashvili. For those of you watching alternately, stay with us. Group B is on the way in around 1/4 hour.